the state is our primary competitor when we're looking at recruiting and retaining employees. I do have some folks here who are ready to speak some more on this issue, who are probably more qualified to speak on this issue than I am, but that's all I've got.
You know, I'm always a big proponent of staff and trying to retain quality staff, trying to recruit quality staff. Once we get them, you know, the last thing we want them to do is to go on leave no pay because they want to have a child and then they lose their benefits. Well, the last thing that you really want to do when you're out on maternity leave is not have any insurance for that baby and yourself. Also, if you are trying to, you know, be here and accrue your time, you get 10 hours of sick leave a month. Well, if you're here for and want to take 6 weeks of leave, that's what, you know, 240. Well, no, 6 times. Yeah, 240 hours of leave. So you have to work for 2 years to be able to have that time off and not take any sick time. And then if you use all your sick time while you're out on maternity leave, you come back, your baby's going to get sick if you have to take it to daycare, and then you have no leave. Then we're back in the leave no pay situation that the Human Resources and Finance Department doesn't like, and then your benefits are in jeopardy. So it really is detrimental to that young staff who want to come work for us, raise a family, and stay with us. We want to get those young people in the door, train them, because it takes hours and a lot of money to get them trained, and we want to keep them. I have a new staff member who started this summer who has a baby. She's had some health issues herself, and she wants to have another baby and stay with us and have a career. And she said that was one of the reasons, a big negative for taking this job. She had an offer from the state, and she had an offer from us. Thankfully, she chose us, but that was a huge negative, is that we did not have any parental leave, and the state does. So I know that we always say we can't compete with the state. My challenge is, why can't we? Because we have to. We're competing for the same staff, and we need to have comparable benefits. And right now, we don't. I know that we have free insurance for employees, but compared to what the state has to pay and compared to some of these other benefits, it's not apples to apples anymore.
If I can speak on behalf of, I'm Anjali Gandhi, I'm at the prosecutor's office.
You have to come up.
And
Yeah, you have to come up here, Anjali.
We've had a lot of meetings. A lot of people are here from the staff of our office and other offices, and I think even John would speak on behalf of the Sheriff's Department if asked on this issue. It's very important for everybody. And while none of you, I understand, are mothers, all of you are sons, and I think your mothers would agree that the first few weeks after a child is born is excruciatingly important for both the mother and the child, so much so that we could consider it a human right that is given to a person that is giving primary care to an infant. That is why 7 years ago, the state so wisely, Eric Greitens wrote the initial order that said, that's aligned out how important this was, and that the state employees deserve it. Every mother deserves it, every parent deserves it that's giving primary care, and every child that is born deserves it. And a mother that is in a situation where she gets pregnant at work should not be made to decide whether she has to take unpaid leave or do something else with that pregnancy. She shouldn't be made to make that decision. And by not having that, the state recognized that that's what position they're putting the women in. So what we're asking you to do in this court order, if you look at it, if you guys sign it, it's very simple. It just guarantees that we have the same exact benefits that the state has as far as the amount of hours. And I think what Mr. Thompson was trying to say when he was talking about how other counties hadn't done it is that they hadn't adopted it exactly like the state had, except there are counties that had. Jackson has, St. Louis has, I believe that's correct, right, Amanda? They have 12 weeks, so other counties have gone above and beyond. But other surrounding counties have done other things to compensate for not having it. Things such as comp time. Amanda Landrum, if you can come up too. She's with our office. She can tell you some of the other benefits that other counties have around here that are different, that we do not have.
Yes, so I looked particularly at first-class counties. Almost all of them had a salary that started much higher. But additionally, other things that you can do is offer that comp time, do a shared leave pool, which I know that we have here. However, the access to the shared leave pool seemed to be more flexible. That was in Boone County. They offer other perks, such as tuition reimbursement, gym membership discounts, tickets at work, corporate employee programs, use of pools, gyms, rec centers, greens fees, just little additional things. Additionally, some counties such as Franklin County offers PTO instead of vacation sick, so you can have more flexible access to those benefits. And again, almost all of them had a more competitive pay than what Cole County is offering.
And that's not to say we're asking for any of these things. We're not in Cole County. All we're asking is to be treated the same as the state. Right now, we have a pregnant employee in our office that has to look across the alley to the courthouse to other pregnant employees who are like, I don't have to take any vacation. If I get a cold while I'm pregnant, I'm not going to come to work because I don't have to use my sick leave. I'm going to enjoy my 6 weeks with my new baby. What are you going to do? Well, our employee might have to get fired because that's her only choice. And that's the position that you're putting us in by not keeping step with what the state is asking us to do and what I think everybody can agree is the right thing to do. So if you sign this order, it's very simple, then that would make it a right for our employees and then free up the funding to get that done this year, get it switched so that we can have this done. And then going forward, it would be a budget assignment every year after that. I understand, I don't know the nitty gritty of how that would work, but that's all we're asking for. And if you have any questions, I think we have a lot of people here with information that might be able to be helpful.
So I did have a question on you said they don't have health benefits. You can still maintain your health insurance.
Only if you've been here over a year. And
With COBRA, you can maintain.
She could pay to it, yeah, that's
Right.
not a benefit really.
So you're not losing your health insurance. You
She would
might
have to pay for it.
So you're not losing it, though.
she would have to pay for it, but at the same time, she's not getting paid.
I mean, it depends on how you're looking at the insurance, too. Some are on HSA, and the other ones are on the, I guess, what you call it, the traditional. So some of us are paying different things on that. But she wouldn't lose her health insurance. She might have to pay for it past that point. And then she wouldn't necessarily be fired either. That'd be up to the elected official if you want to hold her position for her.
I would absolutely hold the position for anyone.
So
The impression she
she's
was
not-
left with was that.
She's not getting fired.
Correct.
So-
The impression she was left with after discussing the benefit aspect of it was that her job was not going to be held for her. I reassured her that that would not be the case.
That if she stopped coming to work to stay home with her baby for 6 weeks, that she would not be paid. If-
Not be paid, but she would have to talk to her elected official. I for sure said that.
So you didn't,
I'm
you
not
didn't tell her
saying
that her
no,
job
that I'm
wasn't
not
safe.
gonna do this at all. I'm just saying there's a lot more to it than to come down here today and throw a court order in our faces about it.
We
this
weren't
is
asking you to
kind
sign
of-
it today, we were asking if you had
No,
questions.
yeah,
Seriously.
I
Okay, well,
wanna
I
check
apologize then. I
with
just felt like we were being
figures
sideswiped.
and
Oh, no,
check
no.
with other counties. Boone County, you really can't compare us to Boone County.
Well, we do
But
it all the
some of
time.
the other, but I wanna look and see what some of the other counties do and,
I'd be
Yeah,
curious to see some of the information that you had on
yes,
the other stuff
yeah,
too. So
That's,
think-
I should apologize. I came in kind of strong, I guess. I wasn't asking you to sit there and sign this today. What I was asking is, if you have questions, we have people with answers.
we were outnumbered, so I felt.
Didn't mean to come in that strong then. That's not what I meant. It's like, we're proposing this. We think it's really fair. Please ask us questions. We can come back with even more answers at the next meeting if you'd like. It wasn't sign this today. That's not what I meant to say.
Additionally, all the people that are in this room are here because we care about it and we're invested and want to know what your questions are. So it's not a matter of coming in and rushing this meeting. It's more, we're invested, we're here, and we want to know what you have
Exactly.
to ask us.
yeah. I wanna check, so, I didn't hear anything about this until Friday, so I put it on the agenda Friday, but, so we were, yeah, and we were off at training, so, and then we had our, so, I would like to do some more checking, look at figures, and just see before we take any action.
And financially, I would assume you guys would want to see what kind of impact it's going to
Yes,
have.
that's what
And
yes.
we believe it would be negligible compared to all the benefits that you would get, not just for the person that's out, which is bonding with the child, but for the county. Really, if we can keep employees that are going to the state just for the benefits, we can't attract women that can't get time off. And we can't, just the benefits to the county long-term, you have to think further out than just right now, would be negligible to whatever it costs. And that's what we want you guys to look at, if you wouldn't mind.
Here's a question of somebody likes to pick at things, me. It says every parent shall receive. What if they don't want it? So shouldn't it say every parent shall be eligible to receive?
That is a fair point. We
All
can
right.
change that.
Yeah. All right. I'm inclined to, let's say match the state because that's where we lose people to all the time.
It's really hard to convince someone to stay here when they can just walk across the
As a general rule, I think our workforce, in many cases, is past the baby, having baby stage. Now, not so much upstairs here in this building, but if you look around our 400-plus employees, I guess what I'm getting to is it is not going to be overburdensome, expensive for the county to provide this benefit, because I don't think it will occur that often. And you know your workforce too, how often it would happen. Eric knows his, probably not too often, right?
And the people pitching in, all the studies show, end up feeling so much better about their jobs because they do become more valuable during the time that they're pitching in, and the whole office kind of coalesces around this person that's out. It really is good for morale. And long term, you feel more connected to your office because they did that.
I think we should require the mother to bring the baby to the office to be proof that we've, and get to see the.
That's the last resort option. We hopefully won't have screaming babies upstairs.
If you want to add that to the last
Yes.
paragraph.
Well, we have to have proof that it really occurred, document. With, I think bringing the baby to the office would, not every day, but just show that.
Some breastfeeding peer counselors get to bring their baby to work with them every day,
Oh.
so be careful about that.
Okay.
Any crying babies, then go into the Western Commissioner's office, and we close the door. And you get the crying babies.
All the
But
crying
As
is-
a godparent, my godchildren, they all threw up on me. So I don't really want to hold a baby. I just, it's,
Generally, all the crying you hear in this building comes from the presiding commissioner's
We've
office.
kind of noticed it upstairs. Yeah.
So what happens if you come here to work and you're already pregnant, whether it be 2 days or 2 months pregnant? I mean, do you automatically get that time too then?
If this goes into effect, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
That
you
was
could,
laid out.
you could say they have to work here for 30 days or something. I mean, that would be up to you, but our preference would be that all employees are eligible.
But we really haven't noticed a lot of newly pregnant employees swarming around trying to jump on a job for the benefits. It just doesn't happen very often.
Additionally, not offering that might open to some discrimination.
Yeah, because it disproportionately affects women. We're the only ones who can get pregnant. We're the only ones who this affects. So.
If this,
Not necessarily, because if me and my partner wanted to adopt a baby. I'd get
Absolutely,
my
but there's
6
no
week off as a
physical
primary.
recovery time
Right.
from childbirth.
I mean,
There's a physical recovery from childbirth that there isn't with men.
I had to recover too from our kids. I just had that.
Well, you did have to see a lot, I'm
sympathy weight
sure.
that I caught up with. So.
It just gets
the state implemented this in
2017.
in 17. So they probably have a good track record of
Yeah.
experience, and maybe by visiting with the AG's office, which might be a comparable.
Well, that's where we're losing employees to. That's.
Well, I'm talking about the cost side, or how.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
After 7 years or 6 years, what's the,
Usage rate.
approximate?
It's going to fluctuate. That's just the truth of it. It's going to fluctuate every year, but the cost you have to weigh against the benefits.
Right.
And the benefits are always going to outweigh it. Some years it's going to be nothing. Some years Travis Kelce and Taylor will get married and it's going to go way up that year.
Yeah.
I would like to do some research, and then we will bring this back.
Thank you.
You're
That'd be great.
welcome.
Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank
And
you.
any questions you have, just email us or call us. We'll come downstairs.
If you
Thank
just email that information.
Yes.
You had the comparison stuff, so, I don't know, I'm just still old school, and the secondary, the dad, I guess, being able to stay at home for 3 weeks till. I'm gonna go home tonight. and my wife and
I
are gonna
remember a friend, and he was at one of the
3 weeks off.
chamber after hours, and I said, "Don't you want to go home to the new baby?" He said, "No, the baby has colic." He said, "I'm going to stay here until this thing shuts down."
So, I'd send any other information that y'all have to Sheila too, because I think HR really needs to kind of be the one to ramrod some of this too and help us
I will.
write the policy, so. All righty, thank you all.
Okay.
Sheila's not here, what else can we throw in her lap?
She's on the phone.
Oh, no. Thought the computer wasn't working, we were safe.
Well, this is something we really need to research and look at.
I'm surprised this issue hasn't come up before now. Or has it?
A few people in the state, or a few people have asked about it.
Uh-huh.
Most people are qualified for FMLA, so they don't.
Right.
There's been a few incidents when new hires, they don't qualify for FMLA, you know. I did check with the city Friday, and they absolutely do not have a policy like this, and there was no talk of it. So we were checking into other entities, because I assumed this was what they were bringing here today.
And I know we compete against the state, but we don't match all their salaries either. So our benefits may not match them. I think our benefits package is very fair. So
And if I
I
may,
think
I'm
that's
ready
part
to
of it,
speak
so.
on that note as well too, if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want some additional
Sure.
information. So we do offer two, let's bring it back to December 14th, 2023. You had a commission meeting here, and there was discussion that the benefits offered by Cole County were even better than the state's, which kind of brought this to my attention because I know that we don't offer paid parental leave. So at that time, you had said, well, we pay employees insurance, which is huge for a lot of Cole County employees, and you offer 2 retirements. However, looking at insurance, the state requires their employees to pay like $42 to $72 per pay period. So it's not a great amount that the state employees have to pay into their own insurance. The state's insurance for a family, for employee, spouse, and dependent is $286 per pay period. Ours is $298 per pay period. So we're really not offering that support to our young families, people that want to have a family here in Cole County. We're paying more for our benefits than the state does.
And their annual leave, they start at 10 and 10. We start at 8 and 10. At 2 years, we go up to 10 and 10. And then you don't get another increase until you've been here for 10 years. At the state, the increments are at 5-year increments. So you start accruing more leave faster at the state than here. So it takes even longer to build up leave here if you want to have a baby.
Our leave is the same except for the 8.
It depends on which division of the state.
Right, but you go up in,
It's at 10 years when you.
you don't get your first bump at 5?
No.
Oh, they've changed that. Okay, sorry, it's been a while, but still, it starts at 10 and 10,
As
not
far
8.
as far as insurance goes, you're gonna have
I
to
thought
look
it
There was
at,
no specified. It was a 10.
as far as insurance goes, you're gonna have to look at individual departments too.
Right.
Because MoDOT and the Highway Patrol and Conservation are different than the rest of the
Right, they're
state.
not on the CHCP, they have their own.
And I did look at 2 different families. I went with the higher one for this, but another family that works at OSCA actually said that his is only $212 for his whole family for spouse, employee, and dependents, so family.
It might be a high deductible
Exactly.
plan, you know, that you gotta worry
But
about.
I'm saying that
Right.
we're at least very, very close, if not a little bit, paying a little bit more. Additionally, we offer 2 retirements. Great, fantastic. I love the retirements that we have here. I've been a Cole County employee for 9 years myself. The state does offer Mosher's and deferred compensation plans too. So when it comes to supporting the people that are going to try to stay here for 5 or 8 years to get those retirements, I think that it's important to target those young families who do want to stay here and do want to have careers.
And if you do match the deferred here, then there's not really any match at the state office.
But the retirees get to keep their insurance. I have a staff member who's thinking about going and working for the state for a few years after us, because then she gets retiree insurance, she doesn't have to pay for it like we do. That's
You can
huge.
keep it here.
Well,
you can keep it.
But
They still pay for it after.
But they get to keep it, it's not the
They get to
same.
keep it, but
Right.
you still have to pay.
my wife has that.
But it's really expensive.
You pay for it. If you work, say, for 34 years like I did, you get the maximum subsidy, but you still got paid.
And it is not that,
It's pretty
it's,
expensive.
So I got a question, and this is, I'm just delving into this, right? So, if, and I'm not trying to be callous or anything, and this may not be legal, but if someone comes in and says they're gonna do 6 weeks in January, can we have them sign a contract saying they'll stay with us for a year? So that way they can do their 6 weeks, but then they quit after that next
I
week.
had that question, legally, do we have any, if they come, get paid for 12 weeks or whatever it is, and then leave?
So if this is an additional benefit, and I don't know if it's possible.
Can we get that money back from?
I mean,
Legally.
because we use the contracts all the time to keep people, if they were willing to go out on a limb and help you here, but I mean, you're gonna have to give
With
us.
FMLA, if they use their 12 weeks and then don't come back,
Yes, we have recourse.
you can recoup your insurance costs.
So I'm just
Of course,
wondering, and this, and.
That's if it's unpaid.
So no decision has to be made today by any means. Like I said, I wrote down like 5 different notes just off the top of my head, and I think that it might be, I don't know if it would be worth looking into or not. I don't think it would be a slap in the face. I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna take 12 weeks of FMLA, personally, as a leader, if I have someone that's leaving for 12 weeks, if I can keep them paid for 6 weeks before they have to start taking their vacation, okay, I can see that a little bit, because they'll come back. I was also wondering how this is gonna affect, I mean, 8 hours a day might be fine, I didn't know how to affect 24 hours, but then I started thinking about it, they're gonna be off no matter what. So, so the overtime is gonna be the same as it would be if we did this or not. So I don't know, I think there's, personally, like I said, I just went through a couple things, but it's, I didn't know if we could do that,
I mean,
contract.
And then this last year, we paid out holiday time for both your department and EMS because your people didn't have time to take it.
Yeah, we don't.
So you're still in that situation. Now you're not making them take their time, but you're giving them time.
Right.
So that will increase that, I would think, for some departments, so I'm just gonna put that
No,
out there.
no, that's a valid point. That's my concern too, is that my staff already can't take the time that they need to take. But this is not gonna take away from that because they're gonna be off anyway. So, I don't know, and like I said, I'm not for it or against it. I just, like I said, just reading about it now, so.
No, I want to do some checking a little bit before.
Be interesting if whenever Sheila gets back to hear her take on all this. I just wanted to include her. And I'd like to find out what Brian thinks about this too.
Brian's a new
That's,
grandpa.
I mean,
Sure that
that's,
he would be supportive of his daughter getting leave with her baby.
so that's what we're trying to do, is
He's gonna be
target
grandpa.
hiring
Again,
younger people and stuff, so, because that's kind of what you geared this
Yeah.
toward is, then, I mean, do I get deer hunting leave or something? I mean, what's, it's the same with the insurance. I mean, I don't have family insurance. I'm not getting any benefit out of it. The only thing I'm getting at is, well, I'll be able to use my retirement, here in a few years, but I'm in the middle of there not getting that benefit and not getting the youth benefit, so.
Well, sure, right, but as a supervisor, getting staff
Hey,
to come
that's
in-
gonna be a legitimate gripe.
Yeah, absolutely. I've already heard it.
So, I mean, why are you just giving these people 16 weeks, or 6 weeks, 6 weeks and 3 weeks? So,
Well, then, you could ask about, like I had one of my staff members has got a child that was born with a lot of medical issues, and he's been taking some time off and everything as much as he can, but now we're getting down in the weeds if you try to change this to that. It's.
well, no, that's a good point though, because like you're also an employee upstairs. She's not been here very long. She's not been able to build up time. So are there ways that we can maybe work with her on doing it? Can we extend insurance coverage for 30 days or something while she's gone? I think we've done that with other employees that had other medical issues. I think there's other things to look at as well, but like I said, I think we just need to delve into it and the
Sheila's
cost
gonna have her
benefit,
hands full.
and we're just stacking it on her desk.
Well, ultimately, we know that paid leave is good for not only the county and the commission, but it's good for health benefits. It's good for the babies, it's good for newborn moms. And I can share all of those statistics with you as well. And I know that Cole County values its employees and wants to keep leadership within Cole County. So those are the things that I would like to share with you at a later date.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay. Do we have anything else before we adjourn? Yes.
Just gonna tell you, the crew is done out there at the juvenile center, new property location, and there is some cost. I'll get with Debbie on that, and we'll figure out how to build that. So,
And thank you very much, Eric, for doing that.
you're welcome. I think it's, like I said, it's not something we do every day, but it's
No.
good to give a little variety to our crews, and it just builds our, area of expertise. So
It's fun to
Well,
knock stuff down.
What's that?
It's fun to knock stuff down.
It was much quicker. We'd probably still be waiting for a contractor to do that. And we've got to keep moving ahead because with the ARPA money.
We need to move forward quick on stuff like that, and we were able to do it, so.
Okay,
So we have final bids, we know what we've got going on out there. I mean, I know you cleared some for them to survey it and stake it out, but are we dead set on the building and exactly what's gonna be in price tag?
No.
oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, and before we adjourn, our next meeting on March 12th will start at 10 a.m. as opposed to 9 a.m. so that we can be out at Wardsville for their
Ribbon cutting next
ribbon
Tuesday?
cutting of their new, yeah.
Okay.
So.
I emailed requesting that, I didn't. hear
I
if that worked for
approve,
everybody, so.
since you were good and I was good, I had Debbie take
Move
care
it
of
over
it.
Harry's head.
I had Debbie take care of it and just do it.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Okay.
I handed it to Michelle for the record.
Yeah, I just didn't.
Yes.
I didn't read it before you wrote.
Do we have anything else?
Motion to stand in recess until 4:30 PM.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.